Hello everyone. Today I'm going to give you a quick and short demo on how to create a value scale. A value scale is a tool used by artists to determine on how light or how dark an area needs to be so that they can create more realistic looking pieces of art. For today's lesson, you're going to need a piece of paper, a ruler, a pen, colored pencil, and a regular pencil. An eraser would help you out, but I would assume that if you have a regular pencil, you have an eraser attached to it. If you don't have a ruler, I've come up with a way for you to get away with this, as all of us should have access to paper. This right here is a folded up piece of paper. I'm going to quickly unfold it for you to see. You take the full sheet, fold it in half, fold it in half again, fold it in half a third time, and you will have yourself a straight edge. That's the main use of the ruler in our case right now. We don't need to take measurements, we just need straight lines. So, moving back to our goal here today, we want to create a value scale. We're going to create a 6-step value scale. And it's going to go from lightest on the left to darkest on the right. We need 3 rows of boxes, so we're going to take our straight edge here and we're going to very quickly make one pair of lines like that, another pair of lines like so, and a third pair of lines. Then we're going to go perpendicular to those lines, and we're going to connect the first set, second set, third set, and same thing on the other side. First set, second set, third set. Like I said earlier, we want to do 6 steps. So if we just throw in some numbers here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, that is going to give us 6 decently even boxes. Take your paper ruler or straight edge here, and this will be 1 box. Here's another box. Here's a third box. And continue until you have a set of boxes like so. 3 rows, 6 boxes. This top one is going to be pencil. Middle is going to be pen, bottom is going to be colored pencil. If you don't have colored pencils, it can also be crayons. If you don't have either, realistically, just do a third box of either pencil again or pen, whichever one you felt didn't come out as good as you wanted to. So, when it comes to shading a value scale, since the 1 is going to be your lightest, you want to start off shading lightly. I'm going to shade by barely even pressing the pencil to the paper. Like, I'm holding the pencil to where it's just resting on my hand, and the shading is just happening because the graphite is touching the paper. You might not even be able to see it getting darker, but when I'm done with this scale, I will lift the paper up at an angle and you will be able to see the changes. Box number 1's done. Repeat for box number 2, only this time you're gonna have to press a little bit. But again, I'm not trying to make it darker. I'm not trying to get a black mark on the paper. I am simply trying to make each box a little bit darker than the last. This takes some practice, and you may not get it right on your first try. That's why we're doing the pencil first, because if you mess up, get that eraser out, erase your mistake, try again. We don't have time to be frustrated here. We've only got time to improve. Something you'll notice is, as I've colored in each of these boxes, I've only gone in one direction. This is a shading technique called hatching. Hatching is where all the lines follow the same direction, and because I'm making my lines straight, it makes this have an appearance of being flat. When we get into forms, which will be next week, I will show you how to shade three-dimensional objects in a way that makes them not flat. But the whole reason I brought up hatching is because now we're going to do something called cross-hatching, because we need to get darker than this number 4 box, and I'm just going to color this in a little bit just so that it goes up to the edge. But if I want to get darker than that number 4 box in this number 5 box, I'm going to have to do some cross-hatching. Cross-hatching literally just means that you will have to take your pencil and make your shading go perpendicular to the marks that you originally had. Remember, lines that are parallel to each other go in the same direction and never touch. Lines that are perpendicular to each other meet at a right angle. Are you always going to be able to do right angles every time you do cross-hatching? Not necessarily. Should you try to do it for this specific instance? Definitely. Finally, we're in box number 6. This is our darkest box. Don't be afraid to push down as hard as you can. You're going to notice that because I'm pushing down as hard as I can, when I'm done with this box, it's going to shine from the lamp on my desk. Which is again why I will lift up the paper at an angle where it's not in the light, and you will see just how much darker this box is to the last box. This is the box where you can take out all your frustrations about all this distance learning and all this logging in and all of Clever and all of that, and use it to fuel the energy of your artwork. Press as hard as you can, get a nice, strong, dark box in there. I'm going to hold this up at an angle for just a moment, just so you can see how much darker each box gets from the box before it. Now, I'm going to repeat the same 2 steps with the pen and the colored pencil. At this time, feel free to pause this video and do your pencil boxes. The pen and the colored pencil boxes will be done the exact same way as the first set. So I'm going to go ahead and time-lapse those boxes so that they go a little bit faster, and I'm not going to be talking through it as much. The only thing you need to know ahead of time is when you do the pen box, you can see here I've just got a normal ballpoint pen. You're not going to need to cross-hatch until you get to box number 6. And shading with a pen is very similar to shading with a pencil. The lighter you let the pen go on the paper, the lighter it'll be. When it comes to the colored pencil, same deal. So, I'm done explaining. The rest of the video will be a sped up version of what you just saw with the pen and then with the colored pencil. You have the next 2 days to do this assignment. Shouldn't take you more than 15-20 minutes. It's taking me longer because I'm explaining it every step of the way. I'm going to stop here for just a moment, just because I would like to very quickly remind you, when you're on this step, you cannot erase pen. Even if you're using an erasable pen, it's going to smudge, it's not going to erase completely. So, take your time, do it right. Same thing goes for colored pencil and crayons. You most likely won't be able to erase them. Don't rush this. You will use this tool to complete several assignments that are coming ahead. Alright?